Introduction of American Revolution. The American Revolution was not just a pivotal moment for North America. It also gave birth to the first nation-state in the continent. This revolution introduced several revolutionary political principles that would shape the future of governance worldwide. The United States of America became the first country to adopt a democratic republican system, a stark contrast to the predominantly monarchical forms of government that existed at the time. Because global influence. The impact of the American Revolution extended beyond its borders, influencing European politics significantly. Events such as the French Revolution of 1789, the Irish Revolt of 1798, and the Latin American revolts of the 1830s were all inspired by the principles and outcomes of the American Revolution. Its influence can also be seen in the decolonization movements in Asia and Africa in the 20th century. European migration to America. To understand the American Revolution, we must first explore the history of European migration to America. The discovery of the American continent in 1492 by Spanish traveler Christopher Columbus marked the beginning of European interest in the New World. Although Columbus intended to find a route to India, he landed in the Caribbean islands, which he mistakenly named the West Indies. Native Americans and European settlers. Prior to European arrival, the continent was inhabited by indigenous peoples, referred to as Native Americans or Red Indians. As Europeans settled in America, they began to exploit its resources, often displacing the indigenous populations. By the 16th century, European powers were establishing colonies, with Spain and Portugal leading the way in South America and Brazil, respectively. Establishment of the 13 colonies. By 1732, Britain had established 13 colonies in North America, starting with Virginia in 1607. These colonies, located along the East Coast, were collectively known as New England. The settlers, primarily of English descent, sought economic opportunities and gradually developed a distinct American identity separate from their European roots. Political setup in the colonies. The political structure in the colonies included a legislature and an executive, with local populations electing representatives. However, the top positions were appointed by Britain, leading to growing discontent among the settlers. By the 1730s, a distinct American identity began to emerge, as second- and third-generation Americans no longer identified solely as Europeans. Social and cultural setup. American society was more liberal and progressive compared to Europe, where religious persecution was rampant. In America, both Catholics and Protestants coexisted peacefully, treating religion as a private matter. This absence of religious violence contributed to the development of universities that promoted rational thought and scientific inquiry. Economic setup. The American economy was based on capitalist production, with minimal government involvement. The settlers aimed for economic progress, leading to the establishment of a vibrant capitalist system within 150 years of the first English colony. Agricultural production, particularly of crops like tobacco and cotton, became significant for exports. British trade policies. However, Britain's imperialistic view led to the imposition of restrictive trade policies that favored the homeland over the colonies. Acts like the Navigation Act and the Sugar Act mandated that colonial goods be exported only to Britain, causing resentment among the colonists. Growing tensions. The growing tensions culminated in the formation of the Albany Congress in 1754, where colonial representatives discussed British policies and the need for unity. The 7 Years' War, 1756-1763, further strained relations, as Britain sought to recover war debts by taxing the colonies. Taxation without representation. The introduction of various taxes, such as the Stamp Act and the Townshend Acts, sparked widespread protests. The slogan "No taxation without representation" emerged, emphasizing the colonists' belief that only local legislatures had the right to impose taxes. The Boston Tea Party. Protests escalated, leading to events like the Boston Tea Party, where colonists led by Samuel Adams dumped British tea into the harbor as a form of resistance against the Tea Act. First Continental Congress. In response to British oppression, The First Continental Congress convened in 1774, advocating for a boycott of British goods and asserting the colony's rights. Declaration of Independence. By 1776, the Second Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, officially declaring the colony's independence from Britain. This date is now celebrated as Independence Day in the United States. The Revolutionary War of USA. The Revolutionary War 1776-1781 ensued, with George Washington leading the American forces against British General Cornwallis. The war concluded with the Treaty of Paris in 1783, recognizing American independence. Constitutional Convention. Following independence, the Constitutional Convention of 1787 was held, resulting in the drafting of the U.S. Constitution, which established a federal government and laid the foundation for modern democratic governance. Significance of the American Revolution. The American Revolution was revolutionary in establishing republicanism, human rights, and the concept of equality before the law. The Bill of Rights provided citizens with freedoms that would later influence other nations, including India. Global impact. The principles of the American Revolution inspired subsequent revolutions in Europe, including the French Revolution of 1789 and the Irish independence movement of 1798. It served as a blueprint for modern nation-states, emphasizing republicanism, human rights, and federalism. In conclusion, the American Revolution not only transformed the political landscape of the United States, but also had a lasting impact on global politics, providing a new direction for modern governance and the rights of citizens. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more historical insights, and comment your topic for video.